Hello everyone, and welcome to Restorative Health Solutions. If you understand what's making you sick, then you can start to understand how to get better. More information is power.
Hi, I'm Dr. Paul, and today we're going to talk about the IBS Diet Plan. So what is IBS? IBS is irritable bowel syndrome, which is a functional GI disorder that is usually diagnosed after test results come back negative, but symptoms still persist. Testing can include colonoscopy, an endoscopy, ultrasound, CT scan, MRI, stool tests, and more. Some of the classic IBS symptoms are bloating and gas, abdominal pain, constipation, and/or diarrhea. There are also different classifications for IBS. Here are the different classifications. IBS-C, or irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, IBS-D, or irritable bowel syndrome with diarrhea, IBS-M, or irritable bowel syndrome with mixed bowel habits, or IBS-A, irritable bowel syndrome with alternating bowel habits. Symptoms can vary from person to person, which is why a personalized diet for each individual is essential. Everybody's different. At Restorative Health Solutions, we always educate that the gut is one big, long, connected tube that starts in the mouth and goes all the way down to the bottom of the GI tract. The first place we should look at when investigating any potential digestive trigger is the food that goes down that tube. Food allergies and food sensitivities are some of the most important factors to consider for any gut health issue, including IBS. So how does food impact IBS? Food can contribute to or cause IBS symptoms in many different ways, such as bacteria, yeast, and parasites feeding off of undigested food proteins, creating gas, bloating, abdominal pain, and constipation and/or diarrhea. Or the bacteria in the gut can ferment high FODMAP foods, which then create gas, bloating, and other digestive symptoms. And lastly, undigested food proteins can leak through the gut lining into the bloodstream, causing an inflammatory response. So what should the diet look like for someone with IBS? An IBS diet should be personalized based off of history, symptoms, and individualized test results. Some common food triggers for IBS are grains, dairy, legumes, and other high FODMAP foods such as onions, garlic, fruits, honey, and natural sugar alcohols such as mannitol, sorbitol, xylitol, and more. We put together dietary suggestions based off your history, symptoms, and your individualized test results. Here are some of the tests that we use at Restorative Health Solutions. Genetic testing for gluten sensitivity predisposition, food allergy panels, food sensitivity panels. We assess the health of the microbiome through stool testing and organic acid testing, nutritional deficiencies testing, and more. Food journaling or food tracking can be very useful if there's a clear immediate reaction to foods, but you can also react to food in a delayed fashion where you eat a food and you don't react for 3 hours up to 3 weeks later. This is where testing is needed to try to figure out if you're having a delayed hypersensitivity response to foods. One category of foods that can contribute to or cause a lot of IBS symptoms are high FODMAP foods. You may have heard about a low FODMAP diet before, but what is a low FODMAP diet? A low FODMAP diet is a diet that focuses on eating foods low in FODMAPs to prevent the bacteria in the gut from fermenting these carbohydrates and producing symptoms. FODMAPs stand for fermentable oligosaccharides, disaccharides, monosaccharides, and polyols. These are different forms of carbohydrates. FODMAPs are found in a wide variety of foods such as fruits, veggies, grains, cereals, nuts, legumes, lentils, dairy products, and processed foods. Some foods have high amount of FODMAPs and some foods have very low amount of FODMAPs. A low FODMAP diet can certainly help alleviate symptoms in many people, but as always, consult with your healthcare practitioner to figure out what diet is best for you. Here's a more complete list of foods that are low in FODMAPs and foods that are high in FODMAPs. Although this diet can certainly help reduce symptoms, it is intended to be a short-term diet and not a long-term diet. For those with IBS-C, or irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, low FODMAP foods that are rich in fiber are typically suggested to help improve the constipation. However, it is typically suggested to start slow because fiber can worsen symptoms in some people. Another thing that can be helpful for some with IBS is eating smaller, more frequent meals so the gut isn't as overwhelmed and can more easily digest the food. Also, trying to eat a balanced diet in terms of your macronutrients can also be helpful, where we divide the diet into a third protein, a third healthy fats, and a third healthy carbohydrates. Well, I hope you learned a little bit today about the IBS diet plan, and until next time, I'm Dr. Paul.